You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems, they're just smaller, and you have more resources to handle them. I read this from Alex Hormozi, and I couldn't agree more. I believe it is not even a controversial take. It's 100% true. But why? Money, on one hand, is a metric that feels like the most important factor in one's life because everything costs money. No money, no roof over my head, no food on my table, no car to move around, no gear for my podcast, no phone, no gym membership, no nothing. Money feels like the ultimate problem to solve. And once it is covered, there's nothing else that really matters. Money can be an ally, but also an enemy. I personally have made not so intelligent decisions with money. And that is why by making money, I could solve more than half of my problems. Even getting in shape costs money. To eat enough protein, to have my gym membership, to buy gear, or whatever. It always comes down to money. And money hates desperation. Money smells fear. And it becomes hard because I need it. But it can lead me to not so good decisions that make me not keep it after making it. The idea is to make so much and spend so little that the gap between the two becomes wealth. That is the goal, I suppose, to make that gap bigger and bigger, not to struggle because it is frustrating to be a part of the rat race and not get out. Getting in shape, on the other hand, is important because it sets you up for success, I think. And I am not saying that by getting in shape, I'll be successful. But getting in shape has taught me to wait a little. It has cleaned up my mind from immediate rewards because getting in shape is not easy. And not because of the exercise per se. Not because of the exercise per se, not because of the workouts, the cardio, the waking up early, or the soreness. Not at all. Getting in shape is hard because it takes forever to achieve. It requires doing the same thing over and over without seeing results and trusting the process enough to stick to it long enough to actually make lasting changes. Getting in shape is not the goal. The actual goal should always be to stay in shape, which means that the time horizon becomes greater and greater. And it is not to take the shirt off during summer. I did not do it to get the praise of others. I did not do it for the swimwear. I did it to prove myself wrong and actually achieve something tangible in life. To look at the mirror and feel proud. And yes, take a picture too, but to know that this is not the end of the game. It is just getting started. And this has been the key takeaway of getting in shape, to understand that it is not a destination per se, it is a process that should last a lifetime. If I turn 80 one day, I want to be able to clean after myself, for instance. I would love to function as a human being, and a lot of things can happen out of my control that might kill me. But the one thing in my control right now is to lift my ass up and go to the gym to build muscle that lasts and sets me up for a way better future than most of the old people in my life. And I guess this is what moves me, not the Instagram post. I just want to be a functional human being for as long as I can. So I guess in the end, the two pillars for a male are, in fact, money and muscle. Getting in shape. Because the more money I have, the more resources I have to handle other problems. And the more muscle I have, naturally, of course, the healthier I'll be to enjoy that money. And I have heard a lot of people talking about not getting in shape because they don't want to look like Arnold. They won't. It just does not work that way. Getting in shape does not mean getting shredded or huge. It does not mean competing as a bodybuilder. Getting in shape really comes down to using your body for what it is made for. To use your joints, to move your body and live life like it is supposed to be lived, free and fun. I heard this analogy that blew my mind. Close your eyes for a second and imagine a gym full of people working out as usual, squatting, lunging, pressing, pushing, hanging. Now do the same again, but this time take out all the equipment, all the dumbbells, machines, bars, and leave only the people making those exact same movements. What you see is normal and everyday human movement patterns, which means that working out is really moving your body and using your joints as a normal human being. But the only extra variable that those movements are under load. But that is pretty much it. Working out is learning to move your body and making it under load to gain strength and protect your body from everyday activities. Not to hurt every time you reach for something on the floor, not to hurt every time you play with a kid, not to hurt every single time you have to lift a heavy box, not to hurt every time you go for a walk or even a jog around your neighborhood, not to whatever. This should be the approach for virtually every person on earth that has two legs and two arms and lives a normal life. Not to become a bodybuilder, but to become a functional human being. To live as free from pain as humanly possible to have a good life. I have been injured my whole life. The very first severe injury was at age 16, and I still can't explain what happened to me. But there was this time that I was playing soccer, and after jumping to avoid the other player tackling me, I landed on one leg, and I swear it felt like someone threw a rock at me. Something cracked, and the moment I tried to step on that leg, it felt like the head of the femur crashed into the pelvis, leading to me falling down. And it was horrible, and I still can't know for certain what caused it. I ended up using crutches for 6 months, and it kind of looked like I was making it all up because there was no cast, no nothing. I was just walking around with crutches for months. And not only that, I have injured my knee several times, both ankles, upper back, neck, shoulders, my even my wrist and my quad, my groins. It was around 7 years full of injuries until something clicked for me, and I was working out in the gym consistently for 3 years. That is why it is so important to me. It saved me, literally. And so, getting in shape and learning how to properly lift weights after so many failed attempts and injuries finally taught me how to take care of my body, not by resting, but by keeping it active as much as I can. Because it really comes down to use it or lose it. And I really thought I would recover one day by resting enough that everything would come back into place and let me live injury free. But it does not work that way. My body has healed after being broken as hell. The biggest lesson was that the more I rest, the more I hurt. And this affects both ways. If I rest too little, I hurt. If I rest too much, I hurt. And that is what I think clicked for me because now I know what enough rest is for me, what my body actually needs to recover so I can stress it again without hurting myself, which translates into consistent progress, which translates into success. And now I can truly focus on the other part of the equation, which is making money, because I haven't forgotten about that. But by getting in shape, I learned that those things that are worthwhile take time and are not going to change my life in a matter of weeks or months, but years of consistent effort without expecting immediate rewards. The goal with money is not just to make it, but to keep it and make more. Just as with getting in shape, the goal should be to keep playing the game because it would be easier if life stops once one achieves those goals that are somewhat seen as success from virtually anywhere in the world. But it does not. Life keeps its course, which means that the game is not over. And now you have to keep working. Making money and getting in shape are not destinations, they are both part of the process. There is no destination really. Life is to be enjoyed while the music is still playing, not wanting it to end, but accepting that it will end sooner or later. And I personally want to get to the end with these two pillars covered. And hopefully, nothing severe and out of my control happens that prevents me from either maintaining my fitness or making money or both. I hope I can navigate this life focusing on those other problems outside of these two pillars. Having enough resources and energy to work through them and enjoy life as it should be enjoyed. And I don't know if money and getting in shape can make someone happy, but I can say that getting in shape is a good way of becoming much happier because it becomes living proof that you are consistent, strong, and you keep your word. And it really feels great to love what you see in the mirror. Making money gives you somewhat of certainty about the future because life costs money. And so the more money you have, the longer you can live from a survival standpoint. Not even talking about a fancy lifestyle, but from a simple survival point of view. Not struggling to pay rent, not struggling to buy food, not struggling to cover unexpected emergencies, which happen all the time when you least expect them to happen. So I guess getting in shape and making money do make someone happy, and life becomes a little more enjoyable when there is no stress about paying the bills. Imagine if you're happy already, how much better your life would be with those two pillars covered. With problems still, because we are human and we need problems to solve to feel alive. But the point is that there are better problems to have than others. In the end, it takes time. And for now, I have been enjoying the process. And I have no idea when I'll be successful. But it will happen. Yo soy Bruno. And I'll see you in the next one.